Joe Tex, Joe Tex. You know, it's been 30 years since Joe Tex has passed away. And brothers and sisters, I often wondered why Radio 1, Television 1, VH1 or BET, Black Entertainment Television, I often wondered why they haven't done tributes. You know, how they do the unsung and the life after. I often wondered why they haven't done a tribute to Brother Joe Tex. Joe Tex is perhaps one of the most underrated performers or entertainers that ever was on the musical scene, to my recollection. Oh, I'm Brother Lance Shabazz, and I am producing Joe Tex, The Real Story, through the eyes of a young man who first met Joe Tex or saw Joe Tex live 45 years ago. And I'm going to take you through his life from August the 8th of 1935 through his passing 1982, August the 13th of 1982. And we're going to look at his life, the real story. You're going to hear not just from myself, but you're going to hear from those who had experiences with Joe Tex, whether it was his band members, whether it was his family members, whether it was some of his spiritual brothers. But we're going to hear from Joe Tex and just even his number one fan. We're going to let you hear from all of this, and we put it together as Joe Tex, The Real Story. I know you're going to enjoy this DVD. And I want you to know, brothers and sisters, from my heart, I'm not doing this for any financial gains whatsoever. This is for the sole purpose. I want to distribute this throughout the world and let the world know Joe Tex, the real story. The good, the bad, the ugly, the bumps and the bruises. We're going to give it to you, and we're going to give it to you straight. Joe Tex is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and though I'm personally pretty much peeved about it, I've learned to just cast that aside. Because if here's the man, what action caused Elvis Presley in the studio with Joe Tex to apologize to him? What action with Joe Jackson and the father of Michael Jackson and his brothers, you know, Marlon, Tito, Jermaine, and the rest of them? What actions? We're going to go through all of that. What about James Brown and Joe Tex? How James Brown really admired Joe Tex, the battles that they had. You know, the story they often tell you about James taking Joe Tex's ex-wife, B. Ford, and producing a child, Darrell Brown. Well, did Joe Tex take one of James's girlfriends, Kim, and impregnate her? We're going to look at all of Joe Tex's life. We're going to look at the greatness of Joe Tex as a songwriter and some of the brilliant songs. We're going to go through them, brothers and sisters. And yes, maybe they didn't make the gold status or the platinum status, but these were masterpieces. And I'm talking about a man who said he wasn't born with a wooden spoon in his mouth, a man who said he's going to make every day seem like Christmas just for his woman. We're going to look at that. I'll Never Do You Wrong, and just go through the Joe Tex catalog, and we're going to let you hear from Joe Tex. It's a beautiful documentary. What did Don Cornelius say? What did Dick Clark say? We have it, brothers and sisters. You're going to hear from Joe Tex. And what did his spiritual brothers say? What did the ministers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say about Joe Tex? I've contacted many. This documentary, again, is going to be brought to you free. I'm finalizing it as we speak. I'm in the studio today, and I just wanted to get this promo out to let you know what's coming in the next couple of weeks. God willing, we're going to have Joe Tex, The Real Story. And I think every one of you should email me, lanceshabazzshow@aol.com. You're going to have to take care of the shipping and handling costs, but the DVD is free. Brothers and sisters, and I encourage and inspire each and every one of you to get one and study the life of Joe Tex. And as I said, he may not mean nothing to any of you, but when those of you who are followers of Messenger Elijah Muhammad, there's a story in there, Joe Tex story, that's applicable to most of you. I want to say to the family of Joe Tex, some of you may not know what you had in your midst. Some of you may have looked down on him. You may have seen him when he was not at his best and thought less of him. But brothers and sisters, you're going to look at the life of Joe Tex and look at the brilliance of this man. And I promise you, brothers and sisters, you'll never look at Joe Tex the same when you finish viewing this documentary. And I can almost guarantee you that. This man, all brothers and sisters, and I'm not one who's just on Joe Tex. I've studied him from a child. Yes, he was my hero. There were many in my life, but Joe Tex took care of the musical part. And I loved him, and I miss him. But brothers and sisters, I am still loyal to him. And so I am bringing this to you. And as I said, there may be aspects of his life that I didn't approve of and didn't like, But brothers and sisters, I'm not going to be a phony. I'm going to bring you Joe Tex, the real story. I'm Brother Lance Shabazz, by the way, and I've been off the air for a minute. And brothers and sisters, I've been off the air studying and doing other things. And I want you to know my Facebook page was hacked several months ago, and I just was too frustrated trying to reclaim it that I pretty much left it alone. But I want you to know that I'm alive and well. Some people have attributed comments and things they said was me that was not me. And I'm not here before you to deal with any of that. But I do want to say this, that Lance Shabazz denounces Islam is not me, brothers and sisters. Someone else posted that. I would never denounce Islam. I'm a Muslim from the cradle to the grave, and I pray not that I die not unless I'm a Muslim, and all praises are due to Allah from the cradle to the grave. I just want to say that because there's some things I pretty much have said what I wanted to say last year about moving on, but there's some things I must clear up because I let a whole year go by, and I didn't even comment on it, brothers and sisters. So somewhere down the road, I want to do it with that absence of malice. I don't want to be angry. I want to be sober-minded, and we'll deal with it then. But I want to say this, that I'm a Muslim. I'm live and well. Never thought about committing any suicide. Brothers and sisters, I just want you to know those stories that you heard are erroneous. I'm doing well, and I'm moved on, and I'm grateful to Almighty God Allah to be alive today in this day, and I'm thankful for everything. I'm still producing some of the Lance Shabazz revived shows, which are airing local. I didn't put them on the internet, and I don't know if I ever will, but I'm still producing some shows. I went in the studio and pinched, I've always stayed in the studio, pinch hitting and helping out and producing and directing and doing whatever is called for by some of the other programs. I pinched hit one day for a guest who didn't show up, and we went into some of this. But outside of that, I've kept my mind off of that and just been moving right along. And I'm just grateful and thankful to Almighty God Allah. And I just want you to know that I'm doing well. But I'm here to talk about Joe Tex. And as I said, I'm in the studio now trying to finish up on some. I've reached out to so many people, and I'm Norman Trasher. The numbers, contact numbers are erroneous. I've read that there were certain things that you've done, and I've been trying to reach you. And if you can, 718-527-3603 is my phone number. Please, brother, I'm trying to reach you. Kim out on the West Coast. If you, 718-527-3603. Joseph Haziz out in California, Kim's son. 718-527-3603. Trying to get the entire thing together, brothers and sisters, and be balanced and fair. And so if you will, as I'm finalizing this project, I would like for those who have personal accounts, if you want to contribute to finish this up. I've gotten several hours already, but I love hearing the stories, and we can just document it and use it with something, brothers and sisters. But all praises are due to Allah. Again, I'm Brother Lance Shabazz, 718-527-3603 for those that want to contact me for that Joe Tex project. Again, the email is lanceshabazzshow@aol.com. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. Brothers and sisters, peace, power, love, solidarity, and unity. I'm going to move on and finish up with what I'm doing on this Joe Tex here in the studio. So I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. Assalamu alaikum.